So I've had quite a few women write me throughout the last few months just asking for wisdom on how to be a biblical wife. And it's such a hard, broad question to answer, especially when you're not with somebody face to face, to know what their particular specific struggles are, because somebody may struggle with nagging, somebody may struggle with bitterness, somebody may struggle with resentment, or just not respecting their husband, submission. There's so many things, and we can all improve in this area because, like I've said in my other videos about the curse, it is a constant battle, and it's supposed to be a constant battle. It's never going to become just, oh yeah, I got this. That's not real. That's not real life. I know numerous women who've been married for 20 plus years, and yes, it's easier, but it's still a battle because they're still human and they're still battling the flesh and their sinful nature and the curse of women, which is wanting to have control over our husbands. So somebody asked me for like a step-by-step, and that's like, I asked my husband, I'm like, what do I say? Like, it's really hard to say what a step-by-step would look like on how to just start this process, but I do think reading Proverbs 31 is a great starting point. Praying to the Lord, repenting for your past behavior, repenting for your lack of fulfilling, the 2 commandments that are clear as day constantly to wives: respect and submit to your husband. And then go and talk to your husband and let them know, I can see that even though I struggle with wanting to have control over you, because that is my natural sinful nature and the curse that is upon me as a woman, I also see my desire in my heart, even though it's hard to exercise this, the true desire is I want to be led by you, and you have been called to be the leader, and you have been called to be the head of my home, and I have been called to submit. And even though it's hard to do that, that's what I want. So I know that I've been behaving in this way up till this point, but let's link arms and make a change in our marriage and work together as a team. There is nothing wrong with telling your husband, I have failed you in submitting and respecting you, or I struggle with respecting you, and I see it, and I'm not blind to it, and I want to change that, and I need God's help, and I need your help and your forgiveness, and that's okay. So I would say to be transparent with your husband and talk about it and make it a new plan and goal for you guys as a couple, as a marriage, So I really think submission is a very hard thing to describe because people think of it so ugly. They think of it as like the woman has no voice, the woman has no opinion, the woman has no say in anything. That is not true. Our primary role as wives is we're the helpmate. We are our husband's suitable helper. That's why God made us. That's our role, the role he gave us. And God made the man the head. And 2-headed monsters are freaks. Like you hear this say among the Christian world all the time. Two heads are not always better than one. 2-headed monster is chaos. You don't want 2 people trying to have control and to lead. Even though you're equal in God's eyes, even though you're both created in God's image, even though you're both can be used by God in various ways, even though you may have strengths in one area and they may be weak in that area, and your husband may be strong in an area that you're weak in. It's not a superior or anything like that. It's just roles. You submit to your role, which is submit, respect, follow. Your husband takes his role, which is lead and provide and be the spiritual leader of his home. So with that said, it's just a role. It's just what your duties are. And you are his helper, so you can help him with his role. If he's having trouble making a decision, he's open to hear your suggestions, your advice even. Like, there have been numerous times my husband would say himself that I have helped him come to a decision by giving him biblical wisdom. Not because I made the decision, but because he asked me. I gave him biblical truth from scripture or my thought or whatever, and it's helped him say, yes, that's what we're doing. And the other way around. I have been totally opposed to his idea and think we should do this or that, and then he explains to me why, and I'm like, wow, you're right, and I submit. There's conversation is allowed. It's not, this is what we're doing, woman. Okay, okay, whatever you say. It's not like that. Sometimes it is like that, though. I will throw out there. If you find yourself constantly opposing, constantly questioning, constantly having a better suggestion or a better idea, or why don't we do this, why don't we do that, every time your husband opens his mouth or says, let's do this, then you are not allowing him to lead. And that's what my husband's answer was. I was like, what do I tell someone who wants their husband to lead? He was like, just tell them to let him lead, because really that's what it boils down to. We have the power to uplift, encourage, and help our husbands to fulfill their role effectively by following effectively. But if we don't follow, and we're constantly coming against their ideas or making another suggestion or saying this or that, then we're not letting them lead because we're not following. We're always wanting to lead. And it's so hard this is such a broad topic, and there's so countless scenarios, little tiny things that don't really matter that much but can in some occurrences, and then huge things that really matter. So my advice is for the woman, find a woman who you can talk to, who you can be discipled by, mentored by, that you can learn from, and maybe observe how she submits and respects and follows her husband. Because something like this, it is a daily effort. It is a constant thing that you need to be focused on and living out. And for our husbands, they don't have, especially if you stay at home, you have more opportunities to see your friends when your kids hang out together or whatever, but our husbands, they work so much, and then they come home and they're with us. They don't have as much time to be with their friends as we do. So we get all this deep conversation in, and just all these profound topics come up with submission and respect and parenting biblically and all these things that we get to talk about. And our husbands don't get to have those deep discussions on a very regular basis with their friends. So if you're a wife and your husband's always home, and that's how I am, my husband's always with me when he's not working. Of course he does things here and there. Arrange free time for him. Let him go and hang out with his friends, and let him go and pursue hobbies or interests. Obviously not every day, obviously not every other day, even once a week might be too often, but at least a few times a month. And maybe he'll be able to build friendships and have a little more substance there, so that they can talk about these deep issues, and just pray that the Lord would bring men into his life that are going to be bold and encouraging and edifying, and that they will talk about those hard issues, like how are you doing leading your family? How are you doing being the head of your home? How are you doing spiritually being the head and the provider? These things come up a lot more infrequently among men than they do with women. Women are like, so how's your marriage? The first 2 seconds of hanging out. It's hilarious. So, just pray for your husband. Pray for those conversations. Have those conversations. Take your role immediately and allow him to lead. And I do talk about Proverbs 14:1 on some of my other videos. It talks about how the wife has the power to build her house or tear her house down with her own hands. And I think that women, we don't realize how powerful we are. Our attitudes, our behavior, our words, our aggression, we can destroy our husbands in a matter of months if we are careless. And we need to be very, very careful and guard our speech, guard our facial expressions, guard our body language, guard our comments, our attitudes. Find things to encourage them, to thank them for, to show them you appreciate them with. Leave them little notes, descriptive, detailed notes of how you appreciate what they're doing, working so hard for your family, providing so well for your family, leading your family well, whatever, or even encourage them. I'm praying that God will bring men into your life to teach you or to help you learn more in depth about your role. Or I'm praying for you to for the strength that you need from the Lord to lead our family well. Like, it's okay to say, we battle this and we want to get better. Like, it's not this secret thing that you can't talk about with your spouse. It's on the contrary, talk to them about it. So just find ways to encourage them and support them, and let those things significantly outweigh the complaints and whatever. And then also, don't have complaints. Like, there's so many things that our husbands do. If they love you and they care about you and they want to try to help you, they may not do it exactly how you want them to do it or how you would have done it. Who cares? What is more important, the harmony and the peace in your marriage, or the fact that he didn't put the bowls in the right place in the cabinets? Seriously. Don't let stuff like that get to you. Let it slide off. Leave the bowls where he put them as well. Don't change it. Don't fix what he has done to try to help you. Next time around, when they're all dirty again and you put them away, then you put them in the right place. Whatever. There's just so many things that we do or say that can really hurt them and make them feel like, fine, then I won't try, And then, let's see. Focusing on the right things. Don't focus on all the things that are annoying, that you wish he did different, that you wish he did, that he doesn't do. Stop focusing on that. Focus on all the blessings that you have in him. You have to really, really shift your perspective. And also, the bad is like nothing compared to the good. So focus on the good. And even if that's not the case, focus on the good. Make sure your body language is very, very, just be aware how obvious your body language and your facial expressions are, how they communicate exactly how you're feeling. And just be mindful to smile, to have good posture. If your husband can see the way you're carrying yourself and know that you're annoyed or bothered, and if you want to talk about something, don't walk around huffing and puffing. Talk to him. Your children can see that. It makes the atmosphere of the home blah. That's not what we're striving for here. We're striving for a harmonious, loving, peaceful, cheerful environment, a refuge for your family. And if you're, it's the opposite. A few years ago, I went to a baby shower, and the baby showers at my church are like different than any baby shower on the planet, I'm convinced. But we have like a speaker who just speaks wisdom into the mother-to-be's life, and then we all pray for the mother-to-be. And one of the things that one of the speakers said, and these speakers are like women at my church, it's not like we hire somebody, it's just women at my church, the older women teaching the younger women. One of the things that was said was, as soon as you start thinking about what about me, you're thinking wrong. You are on the wrong track. You're on the track to bitterness and resentment and a big, ugly cycle of, distance and coldness, and then finally, hopefully, talking about it, resolving it, and getting back on track. And it's such a painful, ugly time. When you start thinking about what about me, you need to get on your knees and pray immediately. And just ask the Lord to remind you that you are entitled to nothing. You have no rights. And we're here to work unto the Lord and to serve our family in love. And sometimes we get rewards and sometimes we don't. And it doesn't matter, because the true reward is the one that the Lord has for us in eternity. And that's what we're working towards. So we can fall into that trap very often. What about me? Why do I have to get up first in the morning? Why can't I sleep in? Why do I have to unload the dishwasher? Why this? Why that? Because just do it joyfully. If you want help, ask for it. If you're going to do it in a loving manner, don't say, are you going to help me? Can you help me, please? That is not loving. Your attitude is wrong. You are not working unto the Lord. You are working unto yourself, and you're not serving your family in love. If you want help, ask for it. If he can't help you, okay, and just do it. Finish, or drop it, finish it later, and go hang out and do whatever you want. So just selfishness is a huge red flag to you're headed down the wrong track. And this can be also in tiny little things, like what music you're listening to in the car. You envision something going a certain way, and then he has his headphones on the whole time, and you're like, what's going on? Or he pulls his phone out on a date. All these little things that bother women so much me included, you can either choose to address it in an unloving manner, show them attitude, give them the cold shoulder the rest of the night or the rest of the week, or you can address it, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to let him just enjoy himself right now and back off, or I'm going to go join him and partake in what he's doing and show him that I'm interested in his interests as well. Developing a deep friendship with your husband is huge. I think women grow deeper in talking. As far as relationships go, we get to know each other and love each other so much by talking, and men get that by doing things together. And so when we do stuff with our husband, it is the equivalent to them, like if they were to sit down and just talk with us for 3 hours about whatever, you know. So do things with your husband. Do things with them. Adore your husband. Don't talk bad about him to anybody in the face of the world, ever, 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 ever. Even in your own mind, do not talk bad about your husband. That is the seed of bitterness, the poison of bitterness that will spread like wildfire and can destroy your marriage. It's just evil. So adore him, even in your own mind. Adore him. Protect your marriage. Work like you are in a constant battle, just fighting to keep your marriage safe. This includes resolving conflict, not letting anyone be around when you are not in harmony. If your marriage, if you have been in an argument or you are not getting along for whatever reason and things are not resolved, don't go out with friends, you know. Wait until you are good with your husband before you go out and face the world ununited. And this includes being intimate frequently so that you are protected from the natural sinful nature, the natural temptation to lust. There is stuff everywhere, all the time, everywhere we look. And if your husband is not sexually fulfilled at home, he is going to be bombarded with temptation. He will be able to fight that temptation more effectively if he is fulfilled by you at home. So guard your marriage includes make love often, often, often. And I have heard it said that when your husband, that when he is fulfilled in that way, he feels more loved. Like that's the most loving expression that you can give him. So if you're looking for a way to show your husband how much you love him, just make love to him. He will feel more loved than anything else you could do. And he will feel like showing you love more, like serving you, like showing you ways that he can help you around the house or whatever, you know. Encourage him. I talked about that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Like I said, like it's not easy to just name out everything you have to do. We all struggle with different things, but I really think scripture lays it out clearly for us. I think that we need to be transparent with our husbands, and I think you need to focus on respecting him. What does respect entail of? What does that include? And we need to do that. And let them know I'm trying. Let them know I saw where I failed here, so that they know that you're aware of how horrible you are. I tell my husband all the time, hey, I'm sorry I was such, just this morning. Please forgive me. The second half of the day will be better, And to be very, very honest, I just told him that right now, like a little while ago before I started making this video. I've been overwhelmed this morning. I haven't had the best attitude, and I'm totally aware of it. And so as soon as the kids went down for a nap, I laid down next to him, and I was like, babe, man, my attitude has just not been good today. I'm so sorry, and it will be better the second half of the day. I'm aware of it. Forgive me. And thank you for loving me, even though I am not lovable right now. And so you can be transparent with your husband, show them your heart. I think that when we show each other our hearts and what's in each other's hearts, it's a lot easier to love one another. And praying together and praying for one another also increases that love tremendously. So I hope this has been helpful. Please write me if you have any specific questions that I didn't address. Have a great day, and God bless you, and work, work, work. Fight for your marriages.